So this is Angelica Mava, and you're watching World Music Views.
What's up?
What's up?
Welcome to World Music Views.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm so good, thank you. How are you?
So what's up? I discovered you from that Vibes Cartel video. First of all, World Music Views, we talk music and music business. We're the premier music business publication in this side of the world. We cover reggae, dancehall, hip hop, pop, Afrobeats, reggaeton, but we're from Jamaica, and we also have a chart show called World Music Views, which airs on TVJ in Jamaica and worldmusicviews.com.
Wow.
So welcome.
Thank you.
I discovered you after you said, the crowd said Vibes Cartel is bigger or is the biggest.
Yeah.
Over Bob Marley.
Let me tell you like a story about one time I did up on stage. And we did up on stage and we ready to sing Could You Be Loved by the Gang, Bob Marley. And we look upon the crowd and we say, who are the biggest singer if we come out of Jamaica? And Bob Marley sang me both to sing. So we did sure them I go fire back, Bob Marley. So me asked the question there, me push out the microphone for them to answer. And brother, the whole crowd go, Vibes Cartel.
First of all, tell me which show was that and how many people were there and how did that happen?
So yes, they did. To be fair, they never compared them. They just, so what happened was I said, because when I perform, okay, so this is the thing. When I perform, I love singing like, you know, throwing in like one or two covers in there because it's fun. I love singing cover songs, you know, one Bob Marley song or whatever. I usually do that in my shows. I sing my songs, but you know, one cover is always fun. So I ask, and then I always say like, because obviously I'm a reggae artist, so I say, where does reggae music come from? And it's a interaction thing, and it's fun, and the crowd goes, Jamaica! And then I go, and who's the biggest singer from Jamaica? And I always expect them to say, Bob Marley, and there's like, okay, run it, let's go, we do Could You Be Loved or whatever. But this one time, it was a show, so it was actually in Stockholm, where I'm from, but it was kind of in the, oh God. I'm so sorry.
Are you not going to be part of the interview?
Yeah, he's like, listen, Vibes Cartel is my, you know, my artist. So yes, so and this crowd was very young. There were like probably 100 or 200 people, 300 people, something like that. And they just shouted Vibes Cartel. You know, when I asked them who's the biggest singer, and I said, wow, you know, I was kind of shocked because I didn't really expect it. So I was just like, who loves Bob Marley or something like that, because I just felt like, wow, I just was kind of in shock because, of course, like there are so many people that honestly, genuinely think that, you know, Vibes Cartel is their, you know, number one artist, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a different kind of, I guess, preference.
So how did you get in the music business?
In the what?
In the music business. How did you get in the music business?
So I released, I would say, I mean, it's hard to kind of say when it started, but I would say that when I released my first album was in 2021. So that's definitely one thing that I would say was my, like, when I kind of came into the scene. But I've been singing my whole life and writing songs, you know, for years and years. I'm not new to music, but I'm very new to the scene, especially internationally, because I released my first album in English last year. You know, so it's hard to say when it started, but yeah.
And how did you get into reggae?
Yeah, so well, I think most people wouldn't expect reggae to be so present in Sweden, where I'm from, but it actually is. So we have a lot of Swedish reggae artists from here, and you know people that kind of brought reggae to Sweden in the 80s. So my parents have always loved Bob Marley, and their friends have played Bob Marley, and I have two aunts that love reggae, especially one of them. So it kind of came from family. And then I started discovering when, you know, I got to use a computer when I became like 11 years old, and I had, you know, YouTube and Spotify to kind of explore and discover myself and just dig and just go through like all the playlists and all the albums, and that was, that was kind of my, when people from an older generation or whatever, older than me at least, would go through like music.
How old are you? How old are you now?
I'm 26.
Okay.
I just turned 26 a few days ago.
Oh, so, happy birthday. You're an Aries. You're Aries?
No, Pisces.
Pisces, Pisces. Ah.
Yeah. So I guess, that's a more romantic way to do it that I didn't really have when I was a child, like going to like a music store and going through music, like LPs and vinyls and CDs. I didn't really do that in that kind of way. I had YouTube. That was my way to discover it. So yeah, it kind of grew on me. The more I discovered, the more I fell in love with it. And then it was very special to me to find Damian Marley when I found the Welcome to Jamrock album. That was kind of when I found like, okay, this is my style. This is what I love. I want to say he was my true in to reggae music, actually. But then, of course, I love, the list is long. I love so much, so many. I don't have one favorite. I love a lot.
I see you perform in Jaja City by Capleton, big tune. But your performance of it has gotten more views than Capleton, because it's
for real.
Yeah, on I've never seen a Capleton rendition of it get so many views on Instagram. When you do these covers, right?
Yeah.
What's usually the feedback and what's the intention of you doing them?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I try not to read all the comments because I think it's not good for you. But I see a lot. I see a lot of, what people say. And usually I feel very appreciated and loved. And, I feel like I get a lot of support. Definitely the more positive than negative. But of course, on the internet, you're always going to have negative feedback or whatever. But that's nothing that I ever experience in real life. And of course, the internet is it's still people, human beings, real people writing these things. But it's also like, okay, sometimes I wonder if people actually want to prove a point or if they want a lot of likes, if you see what I'm saying. Sometimes I think that, okay, do you want to have a discussion with me or do you just want more likes than me? I don't know. So sometimes I don't really pay it no mind.
Yeah. You're absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
You would consider becoming a model?
No, but I mean, I would model if it was in any way tied to my music. I would do it, but not really like for a brand. I haven't really. No.
But I saw you have your own brand on your website. You have your entire outfit, so you have a fashion show for your own designs.
I mean, the merch. I would love that. Maybe one day.
I noticed, speaking of merch, I noticed you have a full outfit on your website. You have your tours listed, you have your music videos. You're well organized as a 26-year-old. Do you have a management that does it, or you're the one operating?
I'm actually doing it all myself still, and I'm independent. I'm not working with any labels or anything. I'm booking my shows, answering all the emails, everything myself still. But I'm definitely open to, I mean, it's kind of by choice because I'm very, I like being in control of what I do because it's my life project. My artistry and my music is my life project. It's, everything I care for. So, and have worked for since forever. So it's important for me that it's being done in a way that feels authentic to who I am. But I think it's nothing but smart to get help from people that are, professionals in having people that are, someone that's a professional in booking and, different people that can help you and build a crew around you. I think that's just very smart and helpful. So I'm definitely aiming to do that in the future. But I just want to make sure that it's the perfect people.
Wow, I really thought you were with a label or signed. You're something different. You're quite interesting in that you're doing reggae in. You're like an unusual thing in a usual space, or an unusual thing in a usual thing in an unusual space. That's how
Right.
it works. That's how entertainment works. You gotta make it unfamiliar to people. And that's what I see, because a lot of people are saying reggae dead. What's the energy like in Sweden?
Reggae can never dead. It can never die. I don't think so. I think that, but I do, and that's what. And again, speaking of the Vibes Cartel thing, I mean, I love dancehall. I love Vibes Cartel, but I think that, my personal preference is roots. That's what I grew up loving, like reggae, one drop music. But I think that the new generation, kind of what I see, a lot of them prefer like dancehall, that kind of vibe. A little bit more, maybe. I don't know. I feel like but at the same time, as soon as, so okay, I've actually started a reggae club in my city, and that is strictly reggae. I've said that we have dancehall in so many different clubs that promote themselves as reggae clubs or whatever, and they play reggae, but they also play dancehall and Afrobeat and soca and whatever. And I wanted this club to be specifically strictly reggae. So we had the premiere in January, and I didn't know how it was gonna go and how many people were gonna come, show up or whatever. But it was crowded. It was full. The whole room, like, just full of people, and so much energy and so much good vibes. And I just think that as soon as you promote something as reggae, people will come. There is a crowd, for sure. There is a crowd for it. But I think the problem is that a lot of people they're too scared to invest in it, if you know what I'm saying. I think that people think that it's dying, but as soon as you, like I said, as soon as you open the doors and say, come listen to reggae, people will come. So
it definitely needs a young superstar face. Chronix was that going out.
Yes.
You could be reggae's next superstar.
Thank you so much. I mean, thank you.
I'm asking. I'm not telling you. I'm asking if you think you could be.
Of course, I believe in what I do, and I think so. I'm very confident in what I do, but I'm also humble to, what the crowd wants and what the audience wants and whatever. But of course, I believe in that 100%.
Have you collaborated with any of the people you've covered?
Well, yes. When I was in Jamaica, I was actually having a studio session with Stephen Marley. That was a huge moment for me. And other than that, well, I haven't covered him, but I've been creating something with Anthony B, which is very exciting as well. And then we'll see. I want to collaborate with everybody.
Wow. So you're making moves. You are making moves. Those are two big artists that are cemented in reggae. Have any of them reached out to you who you covered and endorsed the music you covered? Capleton, anybody?
Yeah, Tanya Stevens did, after I did It's a Pity. And Capleton, I think he shared it. He shared my cover. And then who else?
I saw Gramps Morgan reach out.
Yes, he did reach out. He was saying a lot of nice things. Truly. There are a few, I've just kind of forgotten, but there are a few for sure. Like, definitely.
You're a white girl. Reggae comes from Jamaica, black country. Have you heard the term cultural appropriation in what you're doing? Have they come at you like they do with Drake or other people who take pieces from the culture? And what do you have to say about that if they do?
Yes, of course, I hear that. I think that that's always going to be a part of it. I think you can't really escape that, you know. And it's hard because I don't have a one line phrase that I want to say to these people because that would be crazy. I think that that conversation and discussion is a very, it's a complex discussion, and I would love to have it with people. I would love to talk to people, but the problem is that usually, the problem that I see is usually people will say it, and as soon as I approach them with a discussion or whatever, or tell them to, if they, you know, if people want to know what I'm about, what my ideology is, how I view people, how I view the world, I speak a lot about that, and especially in my songs. But sometimes people will not, they don't care what my approach is. They just want to kind of say that and then leave the room. And that is like, okay, then I don't know what to say to you because you don't want to hear me say anything. But of course, if I thought that I was appropriating a culture, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. It would be crazy. I love Jamaica to, with all of my heart and my soul, so much. I've been there twice now, and I want to move there because I love it. I love the people. I love the food. I've been to different parishes. I love all of them. I love it.
Wow, that's quite a lot. And you've dropped your debut album, right? What is it like? Take me through it. The tracks. What's the sound people should expect? You dropped it last year, September.
Yes. So the album is called Mava, which is, and I'm Angelica Mava, and that's intentional because I feel like this is an introduction to the world, you know, and it's very much about me. I've written everything myself and produced it with two guys from here, from Sweden, that are two reggae nerds and reggae musicians, amazing at what they do. And the album covers a lot of topics that run through my head. And it's very, very much personal. I don't have any features on it. It's just me singing about things that I think about, things that I've experienced. I sing about a lot of different, you know, things. I actually even sing about how I came into reggae, and the title track Mava is about that. So yeah.
And you are the executive producer of the album. You own all your music.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a record deal?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing. I think that can be a great tool and a great like resource, and you know, for sure. But I'm not really open to compromise my sound. Like some people sometimes come to me and say, you should do pop. And I say, well, if I wanted to do pop, I would be doing pop. But I don't want to do pop. I want to do reggae because that's where my heart is. So as long as I can do what I want, you know, musically or creatively, then I will be open for sure. But not to, you know, any, what do you say? Not to any price. Like I would need to keep what feels authentic and genuine for me.
Okay. Do they have a lot of reggae artists from Jamaica come to Sweden, or Sweden has its own sets of reggae artists?
I would say it's both, for sure. We have, so the biggest reggae festival here is Uppsala Reggae Festival, and they always book Jamaican acts as well as some Swedish. So this year I'm playing, and the lineup is absolutely phenomenal. I would be there even if I wasn't playing. We have Morgan Heritage, Marsha Griffiths, Rick Jam, who I love. We have Don Carlos, a lot of international and Jamaican acts on there. So for sure. I mean, and one of my first ever support act shows was for Kabaka Pyramid, and that was in Sweden when he was here 2023. He was doing a tour, and he was doing like 3 shows, I think, in Sweden. So yeah.
Are you planning to break internationally from Sweden, or moving to Jamaica is part of that strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be easier if I was in Jamaica. I think so. But I want to move to Jamaica for multiple reasons. And music is one of them, because music is really how I came to Jamaica and like discovered the culture and whatever. So of course that's a part of it, but it's also something spiritual and personal for me being in Jamaica. It's a feeling that I've seen a lot of places, but there's no place like Jamaica. So, but yeah, I hope I can do both. I hope I can do it from here, and whenever I get to go there, I just want to, we'll see. I just want to be everywhere. I hope to tour the world. That's the main goal. And then, we'll see.
Do you have your own band?
I do.
What's it called?
Well, they used to call themselves Master Plan Band. I don't know if they changed the name now, because we have a few new members. We'll see. But they're here in Sweden, though.
Do you see the young dancehall acts getting concerts there, or it's mostly older acts?
Well, that's a good question. No, not really. I'm not really seeing that yet. I think that I don't know. I don't know. But I think that reggae might be bigger than dancehall here. Although we have a lot of dancehall dancers here. A lot of girls that dance dancehall that go to Jamaica, like dancers. Like we have, that scene is definitely big here. But I think that reggae, there are a lot of people here that, Bob Marley, he came here and did one of the biggest shows that ever happened in one of our huge venues here. And he still holds the record for the audience size for that night, and that was in the 80s. And there are people that, feel so nostalgic about that time, because there are still people that were, attending that concert that still, are here today and want to experience roots reggae. So I think that reggae is a timeless thing that has a very broad crowd, like a lot of different ages and ethnicities and, whatever. So I think that for that reason, reggae might be bigger still here.
Nice. Because right now, most of the bands are down. Most of the reggae revival bands are down. It needs a face, it needs several faces, but you're the only one I'm seeing right now. I have this series on World Music Views called Bring Back the Band, highlighting band, and you're the most interesting I've seen thus far.
Wow, thank you.
It is possible. You're marketable. You have the voice, the sound, the look, everything to go to the world, So what's your top 5 reggae songs of all time?
Oh my God. Okay, do you have 5 hours? Because this is going to be hard for me.
5 songs.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh my God. Well, I want to say, so this is probably going to change. Okay, not in order.
Not in order.
Okay, hold on. I want to say Should I, Dennis Brown. Fisherman by the Congos.
Wow.
And how do I choose one Bob Marley song? Let's say probably Satisfy My Soul or Kinky Reggae. Probably let's say Satisfy My Soul. Let's do that one. And so that's 3. Right? Yeah. I'm gonna say Night and Day. That's Dawn Penn. And then I'm gonna say, I take this so seriously, obviously. I'm gonna say reggae songs. I'm gonna say There For You, Damian Marley.
That's a nice round of 5.
Oh, that's so hard. That gives me anxiety to have to choose.
Maybe you should cover those 5.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure.
That would be dope. Thank you so much. I'm going to listen to more of your music today, and we're going to upload this today.